What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to SpawnCast episode 133. We actually will be a couple of us be on the move over the weekend. Evan's going to be traveling, and he does a lot of the producing work for the podcast in terms of streaming and setting it up. And then Max is going to be at a convention. Jordan's going to be at a convention. Everyone's going to be kind of scattered this weekend. So we figured we would do a pre-recording of about an hour-long podcast just to have something for you guys over the weekend. So this will be posting at normal time Saturday night, and we are missing OJ and right now Nate, mostly because Nate is on the road and OJ is on the West Coast, so the time's a little off right now. But if we don't see Nate this weekend and then OJ isn't able to stop by, they'll both be back next weekend when we do this live again. So make sure you stop by next weekend for that. Let me go around here. We got Sean, RGT. What's going on, Sean?
Yo, not much, man. Enjoying the weather.
Well, the weather, yeah, it's getting a little cooler outside.
Yep, I love it.
Yes, I do prefer the cooler weather. And then we got Evan. What's going on, Evan?
Not much, man. Prep work, like always.
Yeah, where you heading over the weekend?
Baltimore.
Where you going?
Baltimore Comic-Con. Be there for the whole weekend.
Yeah, there you go. If you're going to Baltimore Comic-Con, you can stop by and see Evan at his booth. He'll be selling a lot of prints and everything, I assume.
Yep.
That'll be cool. And then we have Max, Dreamcast guy. What's going on, man?
I just realized as we started recording that I left my office door open, and so my cats are coming in and investigating who I'm talking to. So my bad if you heard a cat meow right there. But
I see your power's back, so that's good.
Yes, finally. Oh my gosh, 24 hours in the dark. And what's funny is I'm really glad. Sometimes people make fun of the fact that I have multiple switches. When you're stuck in the dark, it's great to have multiple fully charged switches. So I got a lot of gaming time.
It is interesting because that happened at one point where power went out, and I was kind of sitting here and I realized that my Switch could just come out of the dock and it was still running the same game that the power cut out. So that's actually kind of a nice benefit that you don't realize until it actually happens that you do have that benefit. And then Evan, you're traveling with your Switch this weekend, but you're still trying to figure out what to play.
Yeah, not too sure.
So okay, let's see what you. I mean, there's little town hero, man. There you go.
Jesus.
Which we're going to talk about because we're going to get into what we've been playing this week. And I know there were some big releases so far. We're recording this on a Thursday, so we're not quite to Friday when a few other things come out like Digimon and Hat in Time and a few others. But what's everyone been up to this week so far?
Witcher.
Yeah, I figured it'd be a lot of Witcher talk. So Sean has not played Witcher before. This is his first time, so it'll be interesting to hear his first impressions. What do you think so far of the game, Sean? Because it is a long game, but you've been playing it for a bit now. So
yeah, I've put about somewhere between 15-20 hours in the past 2 days. I'm enjoying the game more so than I thought I would. The graphics are definitely kind of weird, and I was gonna say I'm working on a video on it, but by the time this video goes up, my video will already be out, so I don't mind spoiling my video. Basically, my main thing is I really feel like it's probably the best portable Switch game, just because I feel like it was designed with handheld mode in mind more so than TV mode. When you put it up on the TV, I have a 50 some odd inch HD TV. It looks okay, like it gets the job done. It's not the worst looking game I've ever played, but when you play it in handheld mode, it looks significantly better. It looks crisper, textures almost look better. I feel like they're able to hide things more because of the size of the screen, being so much smaller than it would be blown up on an actual television. But I love the story. I love the combat. I love the world you're in. I love all the side quests. I love all the interesting types of monsters you come across, the alchemy stuff, the customization. Like, it's a very almost overbearing at times game, but you start to get used to it. One thing I really like about the game too is when it comes to crafting and stuff, the crafting system, if you are looking for certain items to craft something and you go to like a shopkeep, you can actually have, if the shopkeep has those items in stock, the game will tell you in the crafting menu. So then you can just purchase those from the shopkeep and then they'll craft the item for you. Like, that just saves a whole bunch of time. And it just little things like that I really enjoy about the game. There is the whole, occasionally you'll come across some weird open world glitches. Like I've come across things where like I was floating in air for some reason for a small period of time, but it's a great game. Like I definitely feel like it does deserve all the credit that it's been given, because I've been just wanting to play that and nothing else.
Okay. What about Max? What'd you think about The Witcher so far?
I'm digging it a lot. This is my first time really doing a full fresh playthrough from the start in a long time. So Normally I go much more like sign based and usually pure fire based and just melt. You could do melt armor. This time I'm going a much more melee build and actually I put a ton of different talent points into basically making it where my fast attacks could cause bleed effects and cause exhaustion. I like the fact that this game, you can put 200 hours into it and then start a new game, and it feels almost like a different game. I'm really, really digging it. My major fear before I started playing was the graphical downgrade. That's it. I gotta move my cat. She's trying to claw stuff. Get out of here. But it's great. Come on, go. What are you doing? Go.
Nice.
Max seems to enjoy it. The Witcher.
Not so much the cat.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. We good. Okay. Max is back.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to restart since we've been recording 2 minutes, or do you want me to? Because I feel bad that I've had cats meowing and stuff.
We haven't heard the meows, so.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
You're good, Max. You're good. Yeah. So. Let me go over to Evan. What you been up to, Evan? What you been playing?
I finally decided to actually get into Dead Cells since I kickstarted it way back, and that was
forever ago, man. We played that forever ago.
I played it back before it added all the crazy stuff that I'm now starting to experience in the current playthrough of it, and it's fun to go back to, and it should be great if you guys haven't played it on the Switch to pick it up. It's got the Metroidvania aspects, it's got the Dark Souls tier difficulty, there's a lot going on, and it's pretty cool. All the little secrets you can find, the hidden keys and stuff to go into different zones. Fantastic game, and it's really smooth feeling. So it's got that. Yeah, apparently
it did really, really well on the Switch. So they're doing a lot of stuff with the game going forward. So it's pretty neat to see how well that game did. Also, it was helped out by quite a bit of controversy, so that helped it. But it was it turned out to be pretty good from the early days of kickstarting to now. So hey, there you go. That's a Kickstarter that actually panned out.
One of the few victories from Kickstarter.
Yeah. There we go. I've been playing Little Town Hero for the last day or so, and I'm not liking it that much, to be honest. It does feel like kind of a budget title from Game Freak, and when I saw that price and when I heard more about it, I kind of figured that's what we'd end up getting. But visually, I guess, is the best thing about it. It looks at least clean. Like, it doesn't have that blur effect, Sean. Like, if you get like that, like you just talked about Witcher, how that looks pretty blurry on the screen. This one looks pretty sharp. They use more simplistic visuals and a lot of color to make it look better. But I think the issue is the battle system isn't great. It's definitely, there's a lot of RNG in it from what I'm seeing, whether it's basically the cards that I call them that come up. They're called ideas, and it's either an is it or a does it. So you take an is it, you turn it into a does it by selecting it, and it uses up some of your cost basically for the turn. And the UI is just, it's a mess. I'm not a big fan of it so far, but I'm going to keep playing it. They said somewhere between 10, 12, or 15 hours, depending on how well you have with the RNG, because there is dice rolling and stuff that goes on to, you move around the map. And I don't really know why you move around the map right now, other than to get some benefits from people who just happen to be hanging out on the map. And I think the biggest problem is if you can't describe your game very easily, it's not going to do super well. I showed you guys the UI I was looking at, and it is hard to describe that to somebody. Whereas if it's like Final Fantasy and it's attack, magic, flee, all this stuff, it's if this was more of a traditional RPG they went with, I think it would have been better.
I think that's part of the reason Control, there's rumors that the game Control is not selling well. And I think part of it is that it's not a game that you can explain well. When you see it, it kind of looks like everything. And yeah, Town sort of has that same thing of this UI is a mess. When I look at it, I honestly could not tell you if this is a sequel to Sonic Shuffle or what.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing right now. It seems like it came out, Metacritic didn't do too well with it. I saw some other reviews of it, and people did not seem to be too excited for it. So it's only digital right now at $25. I could see this being one of those games that goes on sale pretty easily, in a month or two on the eShop. You might see this game for $10 at some point. So, just keep that in mind. But at this point, honestly, I would just... Me personally, if I had to look at this, I would say I'd probably wait for A Hat in Time, which is out Friday, tomorrow, or just wait for Luigi's Mansion, which is coming out, at the end of the month. But that's Town. Unfortunately, it went from looking very interesting to coming out and not being that great. I'd say average to below average for the game. So I'm gonna probably work through it and finish it because it's not super long. But it's kind of a shame because I thought it was going to be a little bit better than it turned out.
I mean, it's 10 to 12 hours if you understand the battle system.
Yeah, I'm working through it. I'm getting there. If they don't introduce anything else, I think I'm in good shape. So, but the problem is I was doing this battle for like the last 20 minutes or so when we were getting ready to go on the podcast here. And I still have not done any damage to the enemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
We keep like nullifying attacks over and over again because I'm getting certain is-its that I'm turning into dazits, and they're evening out. So I have not even taken away any of his hearts yet.
It sounds awful.
Yeah, it has not been going very, very well here. It is a disguised card battling game from what I could tell. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might, like I said, when Hat in Time comes out tomorrow, I like that on the PS4. I might pick that up on the Switch again and play the DLC. Yeah, the DLC when that's out too. Are you waiting for the physical copy for that, Sean, or are you grabbing it digitally?
I really would prefer to have the physical.
Well, you're already playing Witcher, that's what I mean, and that's going to probably keep you busy even when it comes out. So it's a good platform, though. I liked Hat in Time. I thought it was pretty fun for what it was.
It's never coming to the Switch, though. Remember.
That was so crazy.
I feel bad for the developers now. They got so much hate for that, and apparently they just weren't allowed to say it was coming to Switch. So many Nintendo fans though were like, "You lied to us," and it's like we literally legally could not say that it was coming to Switch. So I mean, it's coming though.
They could have just said nothing.
I think that's what they did. I don't know what it is. Contracts are weird. Obviously, we deal with all sorts of different NDAs. I mean, like there's a rumor that people who have the Death Stranding NDA, they had an NDA for when they were allowed to say that they had actually signed an NDA. I mean,
Death Stranding is gonna be interesting. The review embargo for that's up November 1st, and I think, oh man, yeah, that's gonna be something else when those reviews start coming out, because I think that's gonna be another game that's gonna be really hard to explain what's happening without ruining it. So
what if it's super normal? What if it turns out that it's like,
dude, there has to be if Kojima was smart, there's probably a twist in there, and he would probably rope the reviewers into that twist. Like, you cannot talk about anything past like chapter 3. You have to just review this small section for now, and then you can release the full review when the game comes out or something. I don't know.
You're actually playing the baby the whole time. Something like that.
There's something. I bet you there's something in this. Man.
I saw some people in Reset Era. I don't go to Reset Era often, but a lot of people were a little bit confused as to how they could even release. They didn't think it would be possible to release a review before the game came out, because Hideo Kojima stressed that the online connectivity is apparently a big part of the story or some elements of the world. So people are like, how are you going to create a semblance of that if like 25 reviewers have a copy or 100?
That's a good point.
I don't know. Yeah, but that's somebody over at Reset Era said that I thought was
apparently they're like running out of review codes and everything already too. So I don't know how well that's going to. There's a lot of people who aren't going to be reviewing it who normally would review PlayStation. Like ACG's not going to review it, and that was weird because I would have looked at his. But apparently he's not getting a review code for it, which is strange. But
I mean, I got God of War a little bit early. I managed to get Spider-Man a little bit early. In this one, there's no way. It seems like you got to talk to Kojima himself and be like, "Excuse me, Kojima-san."
Yeah, they're being very selective with this. Nate, what's up? You hear us?
Okay, I'm guessing now.
Yo, Sean, you want to talk about that Analog Pocket? I'm sorry, the new Game Boy.
Okay, look, it's a fucking Game Boy. It plays Game Boy games. Game Boy. If you think Nintendo is releasing a new Game Boy in 2020, like, Jesus Christ, and they didn't even say Nintendo in the time. People are just ridiculous. Anyways, a new Game Boy, a new device that plays Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, coming in 2020 to us from Analog.
Oh man,
and it looks fantastic.
It looks insane.
There's going to be attachments that you can get for Game Gear, which I'm actually very excited for. Neo Geo Pocket Color and Atari Lynx. So, those games will probably start going up a bit in price. So you might want to start stocking up on them now. Neo Geo Pocket Color is a little pricey for some of the fighting games to begin with. I will say it's kind of interesting. I don't think that's the best way to play it, even though the screen on it is like, isn't it like 16?
I'll bring this.
16?
I'm going to bring this up right now. Here we go. It's a multi video game system portable handheld, over 2,780 Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and the LCD is 615 pixels per inch, 3.5-inch screen LCD with a 1600 by 1440 resolution. That's 10 times the resolution of the original Game Boy, and a 3.5-inch screen. That's going to look ridiculous.
I know. Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
The one thing that's going to suck about the SNK or the Neo Geo Pocket Color is you won't have the clicky.
Yeah, that thumbstick is so good.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
It does have 4 face buttons. It has 2 trigger buttons as well. There's like 3 more buttons. I'm assuming start, select, and like a home button. It has some like music programming stuff built into it as well. It's $200, so it's a little bit expensive, but it's actually cheaper.
I think that's fair.
It's the cheapest product that Analogue has done so far. So it's a day one purchase for me. I love how it's modeled after like the Game Boy Pocket too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It has the L and R buttons on the back too.
Yeah, it's got the 2 triggers on the back.
It has a physical link cable slot.
Yep.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you can. There's like they're gonna have like a dock almost for it so that you can play.
I'm a little questionable on that. I'm a little questionable on that dock because it looks like it might literally just come as like a slab of plastic with like a little bit of a backing and then just a USB-C mail port just sticking straight up, so you have to like be real careful with your pocket, like the analog pocket.
I see. Yeah.
Whereas the Switch is super forgiving. You like throw your Switch in the dock and it has springs and everything to make sure it'll just kind of fall into place. A little concerned about that dock and possibly damaging a USB-C port on your analog if you're not like careful pressing it down. So I don't know. Maybe they didn't really give a great look at the dock, so maybe that's there, or maybe they're still working it out.
Yeah, 2020. They have a while to finish it, so
I think it's going to be a spring release though, because if you look,
May.
Analog always releases their shit in the spring. Don't they? I know the Mega SG was a spring, and I'm pretty sure
the spring. I thought this was summer. I thought this came out April, didn't it?
We can look at my video when I put my video up.
Right.
Well, April's not summer. April's spring.
Is it? Look, I live in Texas. Every season is a hot season. I don't understand where there's winter.
I can look up when mine came out. Mine came out March 25th. So yeah, it must have come out in April
spring.
Then. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I could see that. I could see it being late March, early April then, Sean, for the Analog Pocket. That would be awesome. Like I'm so ready for this to come out.
I mean, Game Boy is legit my favorite system besides Dreamcast. I have hundreds of Game Boy games. I've got some really rare stuff. Like I've the original Game Boy carrying cases and stuff. There's the plastic shell that looks like a giant Game Boy, and you put your big ass brick Game Boy in the middle. Man, this could be so fun.
I'm a little concerned about, because they didn't mention anything about the battery or battery life. And it's so small, so I'm wondering what kind of battery life this thing is going to get. Like, is it going to be like a 3-hour battery life situation?
I think it'll be good.
Be great. I mean, so keep in mind,
6?
The original Game Boy had a 15-hour battery life. Like, clearly the actual processing is incredibly low energy. I imagine this thing's probably going to have a 10-hour battery life, even with a backlit screen.
Okay.
I'm hoping for 8 to 10. I think that would be ideal. One thing I'm interested in, though, is the fact that, pretty much all of the analog systems have a wealth of, additional features. So I do hope that there's going to be some Super Game Boy stuff within it, because there are games where it just adjusts the colors, but then there are Super Game Boy games where it has like special colors and borders. And then there's actually one Super Game Boy game that's an actual Super Nintendo game that you can only access by using the Super Game Boy. So I hope that they have Super Game Boy compatibility and it just doesn't do like, automatic coloring for original Game Boy games.
Well, what's really interesting, they do have the menu in the back office menu where it has their settings with video, audio, system, about, and then save and restore. But one thing that always happens with these, because it's happened with the past few, is a lot of times, I think it's a member of the development core, I think, they release a firmware that allows you to play ROMs off of SD card slot. So like that's happened with the Mega SG. It's happened with the Super NT. You can basically put an SD card in the side and it'll allow you to play ROMs off of it. So I'm thinking that's probably going to happen with this one too, which will make it like the ultimate Game Boy at that point for people.
God, it's going to be so good because there are ROM hacked Game Boy games that have actually been coming out the last couple of years that are so good that I've only been able to play on emulators. So I would love to say, have you seen somebody's been doing like remixes of, obviously there were the Metroid remixes. People have been doing Zelda remixes of stuff like Link's Awakening and stuff and doing recolorizations of it that almost make it look like a Link to the Past. So, oh man.
And all the Pokemon ones too. People are going to go crazy with the Pokemon stuff on there. And it'll be easier to capture things like Game Gear.
Yes.
If you want to do capture of that or Neo Geo Pocket Color, right? All that stuff's going to be crazy. So I'm ready.
Dude, so the huge thing to me, I'm super freaking excited for this. Obviously, I've owned a couple of the previous analog things. The main thing is I own a couple different clone Game Boys now. Some of them are better quality. Some of them are worse. Almost none of them ever have any compatibility with the Game Boy Advance. So as soon as they actually said, yeah, you can just plug Game Boy Advance games in there, it can immediately acknowledge what it is and play it. That to me is huge because it's actually a pretty rare feature. Like that to me right there.
My problem with all the third-party ones is the screens are always like junk in some way. So when they talked about this screen being like, the screen must be one of the biggest focuses of this thing, the way they described it. So I am so excited to see how sharp the screen is going to be, and I'm glad they didn't try to cheap out on that. I mean, I know people will look at 200 and say it's expensive and it's too much, but honestly, I'd rather pay a bit more for a high quality product rather than spend. I mean, some of those clone systems that we look at are like $60-$70 for a Game Boy clone system. And it's like, I mean, I'd rather spend a bit more than it break and then have to get another one and then another one. And it's not even great quality in the first place.
And a lot of analog stuff, it lasts forever. So you can't tell because this is a video, but you guys will know because of this. It's heavy as hell. Like this thing is super sturdy. It is a freaking brick. Like I guarantee you,
they actually put a weight in the bottom of it so that it doesn't move.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this even a lot of their stuff has tons of different options. This thing actually can connect to Sega CD. You can actually play Sega CD at full 1080p. Like analog systems are the best. Like $200 is not a tiny amount of money, but you pay it once, and to me, that's a steal.
Yeah, and especially if they activate that SD card slot and all of a sudden they can play all of with Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket Color. They said Lynx games, like that's crazy to me. And then you pop it in, you can play it, and they're gonna have a separate chip FPGA for developers to play around with as well. So you never know what other people. MVG was looking at that interested, so you never know what people are going to come up with that separate chip that's going to be on board for development. So it's exciting times. This is definitely their most ambitious project, I would say. Like this is it right here. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with this. Is Nate here finally?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, Nate's here. He did it. All right. Nate, did you get a chance to play Little Town Hero?
No, I'm not crazy enough to buy a subpar Game Freak game.
Ooh. Oh man. I'm the only one that's gonna play this game here, aren't I?
Yeah,
it's gonna be me.
Hell no, I'm not buying that.
It's gonna be me. I'm playing it right now, Nate, and I'm not having a great time. I sent a picture. It's a
card-based game without cards. It's like a Magic the Gathering game, but you don't actually have a deck of cards. The combat system drags out like a boss battle for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Unnecessary reason.
I sent a picture on Discord, and it had the boss I'm fighting, and I was fighting him for 20 minutes. I hadn't done any damage to it. So
because you have to cancel out their attacks and break their shield to actually do damage, and it just sounds like it's unnecessarily convoluted just for the sake of being complex when it should have just been this nice little casual, simple, fun game. And Game Freak was like, hey, let's make the most complex thing we can do so people can play Little Town Hero, then look at Pokemon and say, thank God they don't introduce a Pokemon game.
Yeah, you know what? I was hoping they would eventually get away from the traditional battle system in Pokemon, and now I see this, and I'm like, yeah, maybe the traditional battle system's better.
It's almost like Game Freak is kind of an overrated company.
Whoa, they made Pocket Jockey.
Okay,
that
everybody.
It's awesome.
We all have to duck our heads now because he's going to get blacklisted.
I mean, what have they done besides Pokemon? Like
Pocket Jockey.
They did Pocket Jockey. They did Pulse Man, which is actually
Timbo, the badass elephant.
Yeah, that's it. That's really it. It's like
no, they did that. They did Drill Dozer.
Wow.
They did,
Yeah.
They did Giga Wrecker. Giga Wrecker's not
And
bad.
Giga Wrecker. I mean, yeah, their roster of software isn't outside of Pokemon isn't stellar.
You should check out Giga Wrecker though, Sean. You actually might like that. It's a 2D action game, so it doesn't get too crazy with anything. But it's like if you like Pulse Man, for example, that's them doing another 2D action game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's on the Switch and it's on the PlayStation and Steam and everything.
67% on Metacritic.
Yeah, it's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
No, and what doesn't have a 9 out of 10 on Steam? If it's on Steam and not Epic Store, they're like, great, 9 out of 10.
So is it?
Sean's trying to make everybody mad today.
Well, I don't think I'm going to be here next week because I got a Halloween party, so I got to get
Oh,
everything in.
nice. Oh, actually, yeah, same. There was a picture somebody had of it said like, this is why Steam reviews don't work, and it was like this guy had played like 1,300 hours of some game, and he's like, I wouldn't recommend it. It's like at this point that option should not be clickable. Like clearly you recommend it. You played it for like 2 years.
Oh, Nate, you saw the Analog Pocket?
Yeah,
What do you think?
it's nothing. I mean, it's a cool piece of technology, but it's nothing I'll buy.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna buy it. You're not gonna do those comparisons. Well, I mean, you missed out on the one comparison of Pokemon Yellow or even Link's Awakening. You could have captured that footage, man.
I mean, well, I could have done that with the Wii U version of Link's Awakening.
That's true. That's true.
So,
That's true.
but I mean, I don't really need to compare a Game Boy game to like a Switch game. Obviously, the Switch game should look better.
But does it?
If it doesn't, then something went wrong.
Something wrong. We also saw. So this was interesting. We did see today actually a new Nvidia Shield TV popped up.
Oh God!
Okay, so Nate,
It's the Switch Pro, baby.
That's exactly what's going to happen. That's what that's going to lead to. It's going to lead to all that speculation when all the Tegra X1 Plus is Mariko. It's already in the light. It's in the Switch revision right now. And it's nothing really new about the Shield. The technology is already in the Switches.
So why are you not making a video on this, explaining it?
Yes,
That would-
please.
Like
Because
you need
that's
to.
the whole explanation. The explanation is it's already technology in the revision and the light. We're not gonna. This isn't a hint at a Switch Pro that some YouTube channels are going to try to push today. And anyone with any sense should look at those videos and go into the comment section and say, "No, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm unsubbing. Dislike."
Whoa!
Jesus.
It's very direct instructions.
I mean, it is direct feed games.
That,
But no, I mean, I think you should, make a video on it to explain that sort of stuff because, I would do a video on it, but I'm not a tech guy, so it's hard for me to,
Your headline would be Switch Pro confirmed by Nvidia Tegra. People would come in and say, "What the hell is this? You just told us it's not."
fine, I'll do it, Sean.
There you go.
Nate, you got to make that channel. Nate the Hate, man. Need that channel.
I hate false rumors and people using speculation as fact.
So anyway, apparently it was leaked on Amazon. 3 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabytes of flash storage. They have a couple tiers of the Shield TV at times, I think. So it may eventually get one that has like a hard drive built in or something. But 16 gigabytes of flash storage, 33 gigabytes of RAM. It has the Mariko chipset that apparently is, according to their listing, up to 25% faster, which most likely means that it is just fully clocked in the Shield TV, whereas it's downclocked pretty heavily at times in the Switch. So it does at least give you a look at what the chip can do, the new chip that Nvidia and Nintendo basically work to bring together. Because it's never going to at retail or officially by Nintendo hit those kind of speeds anyway, like definitely not on a battery, but it already has a harder time when it's in the dock and it's in that form factor, whereas it has more room with an actual bigger heatsink and everything in the Shield TV. But it'll be interesting to see how it does there. It does 4K and everything, video enhanced to 4K resolution in real time is what they're saying. So, hey, you know what? It's I guess just another Shield TV for people who like the Shield TV. I don't hear a lot of people who buy them. I know MVG talks about it a lot because it has it's a very capable machine for emulation. Like it plays GameCube games and everything. But I I don't know if I would look at this and say anything about a Switch Pro, just because, like you're saying, Nate, it's the same chip, just clocked to full speed, basically.
Yeah, but you know how people are going to look at it and say, "Oh, look, Nvidia came out with a new Shield, and they're calling it the Pro, and they're saying it has Tegra, so that means it has to be Nintendo's going to use it in a new iteration in 2020." And if Nintendo wanted to release a Pro, they could use this chip, and they just up the clocks. They intentionally kept the clocks down for the Switch revision because they wanted to extend the battery life. So that was their trade-off. They said, we can either have better performance or we can have better battery efficiency. And they said, we're going to favor battery over it, which was still kind of funny that the Switch revision has better battery than the Lite, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, the Switch still has more RAM. It still has twice the amount of flash storage and everything. But I mean, technically, Nintendo could just make their own little Nvidia Shield TV, basically, if they wanted, and release it for cheaper, possibly. So, I mean, this one's coming out at $200.
Which was the launch price of the original Shield, right?
Yeah, no, wait, yeah, because I think right now you can get it for $150, like the base Shield now in stores. So this one will be $50 more, but the base Shield is kind of older now. So, yeah, but I remember it being, I believe, $200 when it came out back 2 years ago, 2017, right?
Yes,
I think it was 2017 when it came out originally. The Nvidia Shield TV. Yeah, I don't see a lot here. I mean, if they had dropped this and it was something different, it wasn't what we believe to be, Mariko in there, and it had like 6 gigabytes of RAM or something, and it was like $300, then I'd say, okay, we might have to look at this thing and see what's in there. But it seems pretty straightforward to me anyway. So, but still cool to see the Nvidia Shield TV line is still rolling along, because it does show us what the Tegra can do at full speed, at least. And we saw how this was okay. So this is funny. Nintendo and Overwatch. So from what I've heard, Overwatch is in trouble on the Switch. That's what I'm hearing a lot of. And it's interesting because I had checked around with everyone, because I noticed, as well as a lot of people, that Nintendo had not been talking about Overwatch at all. Like, usually they'll advertise games on their Twitter, they'll put it in the news section on the Switch. They weren't doing any of that. And they were like, we're not talking about this game at all. But they did tweet out quite a bit about The Witcher. They slapped that all over the news section. So both games came out at the same time, and one was advertised and the other was not. Is this coordinated, you guys think? Do you think Nintendo's like, you know what, we're gonna get it?
It's deliberate. It's deliberate.
Oh yeah. Well, and so
they have to distance themselves from everything that Blizzard's been doing, especially since Blizzard screwed up again this week. But I mean, I guess we can say they're consistent.
Oh, did they? Because they banned. Because they banned another team.
Yeah, for holding up the free Hong Kong sign. So I mean, they're consistent in their stance that
they wanted to get banned, though, the team, because they were like, we want it to be consistent, like you're saying. But yeah, they banned it. That still made people mad, though. So
I mean, this is definitely Nintendo. I mean, like, they had the event planned for yesterday in New York for the launch event with the voice actors and everything for Overwatch. That was canceled, though it was said Blizzard canceled the event.
Yeah, people are saying Blizzard did it to try to keep the talent away from possibly a bad situation.
You should protect the talent and the Nintendo New York staff. They shouldn't be on the receiving end of everything. And Overwatch was shown in the Direct, and now Nintendo is just kind of like, no, we're not going to tweet about it. We're not talking about it. I don't even think we've seen any reviews pop up of the game yet.
Kotaku reviewed it.
Yeah, there's a couple. It's got
they gave like their impressions.
Yeah, everyone's kind of staying away. Everyone's staying away from the game for the most part.
Yeah, I think I saw 4 reviews on Metacritic.
That's it. Jeez.
Yeah.
That would have been such a much larger release if all this madness hadn't happened. Yeah.
So if the madness hadn't happened, and I do honestly think a major thing. So I did a big video on it, and it's performing really well. And what's interesting is a lot of people in the comment section are talking about the fact that this should not have been released on the 15th, because The Witcher came out, and The Witcher 3 is a fantastic port that almost just seems to be magic. This is a bad port. So even if you are an Overwatch fan, there's no way in hell you're buying it on Switch, because it's garbage. Oh, it's such a bad move.
I haven't played it yet, so I can't really speak on how it is. I got Witcher instead, and I was like, I don't know.
You're like, this is my port of the week.
I mean, I'm playing Little Town Hero right now, so that should tell you everything about my week so far.
You've got at least 15 hours ahead of you in that game.
Apparently. Oh, we'll see. Let me get past this boss first, and then we'll see. This boss might take up all 15 hours at this rate.
It's one big boss.
It's just one big boss.
You're at the end of the game right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you. Yeah, that is an interesting thing with Blizzard. Now you got to wonder, because Max is going to be there. What happens at BlizzCon?
Oh, it's going to be great.
I know. Yeah,
building up to it right now. It's like a boiling point.
That there is a. Well, I guess maybe I should. There is a secret conversation going on of people organizing giant protests of maybe even literally physically surrounding BlizzCon, or doing human chain gains to try and block the entrances and exits. And obviously, people are already saying there's some rumor that there may not be any Q&As this year, and then instead what you'll do is you'll write on like a cue card what your question will be, and you hand it to somebody, and they read it, and somebody reads it for you.
They are not having an open mic this year.
No, yeah. I was talking to someone, and I was like, why don't they just have them pre-record their own question, and then they'll just answer it off of a pre-recording that was carefully selected.
Yeah, exactly. Because every question would be like, does Chinese semen taste better than regular semen?
Oh man, I'm telling you, they are not going to do an open mic at all. There's no way. It was bad last year, and all they did was they showed them a mobile game on stage.
Yeah,
like this is not going to be bad. Here's my question though, Max, and you're going to have to see this.
I'm going to film it all, whatever you want.
You got to get the full suit body cam thing with like a GoPro facing out and at you.
I want you to see if the protests are going on, right? If the commitment wavers even a little bit when Diablo 4 is announced inside, right? They're like, wait a minute, I want to go look at Diablo 4.
That's so full disclosure. That's the reason I bought my BlizzCon tickets. I had bought them months ago. I bought them on like May 1st, and they sold out in like 30 minutes. I bought my tickets because I figured we'd see Diablo 4. So I'm going to be in the room when they announce Diablo 4, and I'm going to be curious. Imagine if it's stone silent. Imagine if they're like Diablo 4 and people are just like,
well, my thing is, what if they just did it pre-recorded and just played it on a big screen and then never showed the audience? Like that seems
like
to be
Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, that seems to be the way to go for them at this point.
A lot of people are guessing that they'll probably do a Nintendo Direct, and if we're in the room, there's might not even be anybody on stage at all. Like someone may introduce it and then it just plays a video, because like, I mean, their PR people got roasted so bad. Like the "don't you have people have phones" guy is like still a meme. It's like people show that guy's like all the time in pictures. Like that dude's ruined.
The guy that ripped the kid apart, who was like, "When can we play WoW Classic again?" He's still a meme. That was way long ago.
Yeah, exactly. Or so maybe you guys don't remember this, but there was like a famous thing of somebody asked like, "Hey, are we ever going to get a World of Warcraft Classic?" And the head developer at the time said, "You think you want that, but you don't."
Yeah, he's the same guy that announced that it's out.
Yeah, and now in World of Warcraft Classic, there's a giant guild called "You Think You Do, But You Don't."
Oh, that's funny. So let me move over to Max here. There were some. Was there stuff about the PlayStation 5 we had talked about before that you were mentioning?
Some stuff. There's some stuff. I'm going to be filming a video today because it's rumors that have really been coming to a pitch. So by the time this podcast is out, you'll see it. But I want to talk more about the backwards compatibility. More people are actually kind of coming forward and talking about it. More leakers are kind of hinting at it. And it sounds like it's going to be sporadic. I talked to Nate about this today. It sounds like it'll definitely be like the Xbox backwards compatibility, where there will be a cool selection of games where maybe the developers who volunteer their products. So we'll see.
So there would be patches that happen to enable backwards compatibility with games like as we go along as well, is the idea?
Probably, and it's probably just going to be raw emulation. Like one of the leakers said, don't trade in your PS1, PS2, PS3 discs. Keep your discs. So I think maybe it'll be a thing where here we pull out a random, like, here's Resident Evil Survivor. Don't actually play this game. It's a dumpster fire. But
stop it!
You'll take the game out and you just put it directly into Sean's PS5, and it'll basically install like a version that runs on PlayStation.
Well, Sean's PS5 has to be plugged in first.
All right.
I'm waiting for Death Stranding to plug it in.
Oh man, you're gonna get that and you're gonna play it, huh? I want to see. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
I mean, it's Kojima. I used to be a huge Kojima fanboy.
Dude, please, because your thumbnails are always so funny when you like look surprised or something. You have to have like your back to the camera and it says, "This game made me pee" or something.
Well, having emotion in your thumbnail, clickbait too. By the way, you learn a lot about YouTube. Like I think people want like for a review, just like I played this game.
See,
I mean, we tried Deadpan.
This.
John does the
Nvidia
Deadpan
Pro video, and I'm just gonna have a thumbnail be like, "This isn't anything about a Switch Pro." No one's gonna click on that.
I mean,
I'm not gonna be in the picture.
You got to spruce it up.
You got the mask, man.
Dude, the title has to be "The Lies About about Switch Pro." Like the lies about Switch Pro. Boom, million views. There we go.
Yeah, I'd get like 1,000.
Not bad.
You don't know until you try, man. You just need to get like kind of a rendering of your mask, and you put that in your thumbnails. That's all you need.
Use the Purge face, like that guy with the big creepy grin from Purge 1.
You just got to make another channel though, just a Nate the Hate channel or something. You already got the merch, dude.
I got my shirt.
How much I hate clickbait. My first video will be about Sean. Damn Game Boy.
Right.
It's a fucking Game Boy game. I didn't put a Nintendo Game Boy.
Retro gamer.
I wrote a video. I've never filmed it, but I wrote a video a long time ago called "Clickbait I Hate," and it's literally I still have the scripts, and it literally a lot of these. Like, why I hate red circles, screaming faces in a calm video, the boob effect. Like, I have this whole script I never filmed. And, yeah.
That's funny. So, the backwards compatibility is the big thing for the PS5, huh? That's what we're looking towards.
I mean, probably, I wouldn't say the big thing. Yeah, I don't think it'll be the big thing. Honestly, I think it will end up being like Xbox. I think it'll be a thing where people use it and they enjoy it. But obviously, the main reason you buy a new console is new games.
Well, I'm also hoping that the PS4 games are just straight up, like you just pop it in and you go, and there may be a patch that goes beyond just like the basic, okay, it's going to upscale it or something.
What they should do at PS4 is have any game, like if I put in God of War, I didn't buy a Pro. So if I put in God of War on my PS5, I should get Pro enhancements.
It's got to be that. And I bet it's going to have like no load times and stuff, like instantaneous.
Oh, right, because it's going to an SSD, yeah.
Because that's the thing is, I think there's that rumor going around of somebody saw PS5 gameplay. Review Tech USA did a video about it, and apparently it looks really, really good. And one of the things is that everything's super instantaneous. So I bet that demo we saw of the Spider-Man just popping from place to place, I bet that's Spider-Man PS4 running directly on a real PS5.
See, that's going to be interesting when that happens. But I'm thinking February. Is that like, do we think it's just going to be like the first like 2 or 3 months of next year? They're just going to show up with a big blowout event for the PS5, and then
I think it'll be February.
And
okay. I still stand by the fact that I think it's going to be a full reveal. I think they're going to show the box and the controller and like maybe some launch games. I think they're going to do it all.
Here's the other question that I'm thinking about. XO is soon, right? That's November. Mm-hmm. That would probably be just about a year until Scarlet comes out then. Do they do anything with Scarlet at XO?
Yeah. If they're smart.
Because I think they do something with Scarlet at XO. The thing like with the PS5 that's kind of not in Sony's favor is that you have The Last of Us 2 coming out.
Yes.
After. You have it coming out in March. So do you want to show your PS5 hand ahead of probably the PS4 swan song?
I mean, as long as it has full, like if they come to the table and say it's going to work with PS4 games straight up, so keep buying your PS4 games because you're able to pop it into the PS5 day one, I don't think they have a problem necessarily doing it beforehand then, because you're just buying the game and you're still going to be able to use it on the PS5.
Yeah,
so.
It's kind of like, I think it's going to come down to how Microsoft plays XO. If they come out and they show a little more about Scarlet, they give us a better idea of what it actually is, what they're aiming for, then maybe Sony targets February. But they're not necessarily in a rush. They've given a lot of information about the PS5 already. If they have to wait till April or May, it's not like those 2-3 months are going to sway people in a major way, because Microsoft will probably wait till E3 for their big Scarlet reveal type of event.
That's what I was kind of thinking. If they go to XO and they basically sit on stage and essentially read something similar to that Wired article that Sony did for their PlayStation, where they talk about some controller stuff without actually showing the controller, I mean, that's basically the same effect, and it would work. just like,
Yeah,
it has
like,
these kind of triggers, or like where they blur out parts of it, like, it's just out of focus over here,
Kind of like what they did with the whole lead up to Scorpio, where they had all the engineers talk, this is the most powerful thing ever, and they did this stupid pan over a chip, and they tried to hype out the box and everything. So they'd probably do something like that.
And they had people talking too, and they were like telling you how cool it was. Like, fuck showing what it actually does. I want to see what the chip looks like and hear people talk about it.
You're like, look, let me tell you about how hot this chick is. I'm not going to show you her. I'm not going to give you any videos or anything. Trust me, this chick, so hot, bro.
Let's move over to next week. Actually, we have Outer Worlds coming out on Friday, which looks really, really good. I'm looking forward to that. It will be enhanced for PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. We were originally looking at some documentation that it might not have been, but it will be. And what's weird is the day one patch for the Xbox is 38 gigabytes apparently.
Nice and tiny.
Yeah. And then we also have Call of Duty's out on the 25th. Also,
Call of Duty.
Really? That's kind of sneaking up. Like I feel like it's.
I wonder, do you think Activision will be affected by all the Blizzard stuff too?
I still don't think most people are mentally connecting that.
Yeah, they're not putting two and two together yet.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out I think I might go with Outer Worlds first. I don't know, because I bet you that Call of Duty campaign's not that long.
It's not that long. And so I've already talked about this a little bit, but I plan on doing a big review of Call of Duty, and this is going to be the first review. I can't give it a score. Like, there's already so many leaks and rumors about Call of Duty unveiling tons of loot crates and microtransactions after launch and stuff. I think it's going to be one of those games that people will only talk about for like 2 weeks.
Outer Worlds, though, is looking good.
Dude, those new screenshots they released this morning are insane.
So it's launching next week. That's on Xbox One, PS4, PC, and then the Switch version's coming next year, we believe, at some point. So that'll be interesting to go back and kind of take a look at in comparison to other systems. But I think I'm going to grab it on the X and see how that kind of holds up. But
it's the real Fallout. I mean, let's face it, it's the real Fallout.
That's why I'm looking. I'm like, all right, cool. There's a Fallout. And what's funny is they'll probably end up beating Bethesda to the Switch with a Fallout game. So it's going to be weird. Are you getting Call of Duty or Outer Worlds, Sean? You on either one?
I'll probably get Call of Duty.
Do you have Game Pass?
Yeah.
Then go ahead and download Outer Worlds.
You just said the patch was, or the day one patch was 38 gigs.
I think
it's free.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
also,
I
still haven't downloaded Gears 5, by the way. But it seems like Gears 5 is dead anyways.
Just put the campaign's not that long.
It is dead.
The multiplayer is still thriving.
Thriving?
Yes, thriving. Flourishing, alive, active.
All 26 players are best friends now, okay?
Whoa.
Sean, it's right on Game Pass. You just hit download.
Yeah, but
Sean will download it right now, and tomorrow night we will have a video up of Sean and Spawn versus Dreamcast and Direct Feed.
I mean,
Team Deathmatch, Gears 5 match.
Is it still play like the first three?
Yeah,
dude, okay, then I should be fine.
So what I'll say is, actually, let's make a wager with the audience. If this video if this episode gets 2,000 likes and you guys are interested in it, maybe we'll
watch out. 2,000 likes ain't shit, because now my ass has to be in a fucking Beetlejuice costume.
I see that, but I still think that'd be something fun. We've talked about a lot about maybe doing like a SpawnCast plays thing. So let us know if you actually want us to do that, and maybe we will do some sort of Gears thing, because that would be fun to do a versus.
I love how Sean was offended they have to wear the Beetlejuice to play Ring Fit, but Jordan had to sniff a pair of panties. If we got like 1,000 likes, I mean, which one got the worst deal there?
The Jordan's thing has already been forgotten, though. Like, the Beetlejuice thing will be on my channel forever.
That's true. Yeah, but it'll be around the time of Halloween, so people they'll just be like, oh, he's being festive.
I didn't even think of that.
I would say
Jordan sniffing panties randomly in the month of October.
Ring Fit's out tomorrow, Sean. So
Jesus, that is tomorrow.
Are you? Is that coming in through Amazon, or are you going to pick that up?
No, it's coming. I'm not going to go to my GameStop location where they know me and be like, yeah, I need to pick up Ring Fit Adventure, please.
You have to walk in as Beetlejuice and like.
You don't think they'll be happy that you're getting Ring Fit?
No, they won't care.
So you walk in throwing the cigarette in like the parking lot and everything. And you'll get ring fit and they'll be like, "Good for you."
The raspiest voice possible.
Our best customers turning things around with some exercise. It looked like some serious stuff they were
for at
having people
least
do.
a month before everyone goes, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
I mean, apparently the game's kind of long, apparently, and if you only play it for like half an hour a day.
Yeah, but that's a half an hour to an hour. Like a lot of people, if you consider a lot of gamers can only really put in a half an hour to an hour a day, and there's other games coming out, like that's it. Like, do I Ring Fit or do I Luigi's Mansion?
I mean, you could like do it in the morning or something, like before you go to work.
Or you could Luigi's Mansion in the morning before you go to work.
Yeah, I would much rather play Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're only gonna play it for half an hour, then you play Luigi's Mansion. You know,
yeah, but
all right.
Yeah, but Luigi's Mansion is probably like 12 hours. Ring Fit.
I want to see this Ring Fit video, Sean. This is gonna be good. You and the Beetlejuice stuff. This will be good.
It'll be fun.
It'll be good. That'll be cool. Are you gonna do it like right away? Or are you gonna spend some time getting used to it and then film it?
I'll probably have to spend some time getting used to it. I would think.
Yeah, he has to set up the ring. I mean, that's Labo tier.
Oh God.
Attach controller. Setup complete.
Dude, that's me. That's.
But he has to put the leg brace thing on so it monitors how fast he's moving his thigh and stuff. Intense.
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. I had another topic set up, but we do know that Death Stranding is coming out on the first week in November. The embargo apparently is up on the 1st, so we'll still have another SpawnCast live one coming up. But I don't know if are people actually. We've seen people talk about this game on Twitter, but it seems like people are just messing around and playing around with people.
God. Yeah.
I think
that's actually funny.
This is such like a closely guarded game right now that people are just kind of messing around. But what do you guys think that Metacritic score is going to be?
I mean, if we base it on the fake Twitter account that ended up getting a thread on Reddit because he said, "Oh my God, this is Metal Gear Solid 2 type twist," and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Kojima did it again," because people just believed anything they read on Twitter that involves Death Stranding. Apparently, it's the greatest game of all time, but I mean, that was a joke that for some reason, people couldn't see through. But it's going to be the typical Kojima game where I think we're going to see some 10s, we're going to see some 9s, but it's going to be those reviews that are a little overhyped because they just fall into that, "Oh my God, Kojima's a god." And I think the difference between review scores and user scores or user impressions might be kind of varied. I think it's going to be a game that we come back to like 3-4 weeks later and the user are going to say, "This game didn't click with me," while others are going to be playing it and they're going to be like, "Oh, it's not good after 5 hours. It's not good after 8 hours, but it gets good after 15.
That's man, yeah, that seems to be something that'll probably talk about. Oh, it's like a 50-hour game and it gets really good after 25 hours or something. It's like, oh man, that's gonna be tough. I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll get high 80s though, is my guess.
Yeah, I think it'll be around 89, 90.
I think it's going to be the mid to high 90s. I think it might get like 94, 95. But I also think it's going to be setting the internet on fire for the rest of the year. I think a lot of, if I could just guess, as having beaten the last couple big Kojima games, I think it's going to just confuse the shit out of people for a while. I think there's going to be about 1 million ending explained videos, and I bet there's probably going to be some plot leaks before it comes out that are like real, and people don't even believe them because they're so weird. So
I think at this point, because originally I was like, what's going to get Game of the Year? I don't know. I think Jedi Fallen Order might actually have.
Crap. My internet just go down.
So Sean, WWE 2K20. I heard this might be Game of the Year. This might be it. We lost Evan. We lost Evan, by the way. He's gone.
I don't understand how you take the base game from WWE 2K19 and make it substantially worse. I saw what's her name? Bianca Blair, the girl with the long ponytail. And, she's doing the flip thing on WWE 2K20, and it looks like a PS2 game. But if you look at her animation, her intro animation for WWE 2K19, it looks like a proper game. So I don't understand how we went backwards in terms of graphics. Like, the character models are atrocious. Like, I talked about it in a video the other day. Like, Mandy Rose looks like she just got done with like a week-long heroin bender. Like, the faces are off, the hair looks atrocious. Like, this could potentially be worse than WWE 2K18 on the Switch.
Like, that's saying something.
Like, I don't know.
I think it looks worse. I think it does look worse.
I don't get it. Like, I literally do not understand it. And it just shows you that, like, 2K is just like this soulless company, and like they just have to churn it out for the man. You know what? It's perfectly indicative of what WWE product is on television right now. So it's just, as far as Raw and SmackDown goes, it's half-assed. It's just getting by because you have to do it. There's no passion. There's no, NXT is the only program that WWE has that has any passion, but they had Vince McMahon had to show his brass balls and be like, oh, that AEW is coming up, but we're gonna put it up right against it. And AEW is getting better. It's getting higher viewership because it's a different product. It's something different, and it's just ridiculous. It's perfectly indicative of mainstream WWE right now.
It was bad because they showed like The Rock doesn't look like The Rock at all. They showed the belt it went through character models and stuff. The person's hair was like just completely stiff.
They have Asuka's head falling off and her torso sliding off her waist.
Oh, it's so bad. So I do wonder if this has to do with just development, with Ukes leaving like halfway through or something. And who is it is it Visual Concepts that's finishing it right now? So it seems like they're trying to finish it along with 2K, probably even bringing in some outside help just to get it done. It's going to come out and it's going to be broken, like badly broken. There was that video of the ref just not counting after they got pinned.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like he pinned them. This nice, German suplex bridge going on. No one counted.
Everything about it looks bad. Like, they showed the campaign, some of the dialogue, and
it's terrible.
Man must have written the lines. And the girl wants to be like a WWE wrestler. She drops her heat comment, and she's just like, I'm gonna go to the nursing home and cross things off your grandmother's chart so she gets bed sores. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I know Roman Reigns would be told to say this in an actual match, but come on, keep that crap out of a game. I can't believe whoever wrote that line probably thought they were being funny, which means it was Vince McMahon. But my God, how that could go through like a Q&A process and be like, you guys for real?
So Ukes is apparently working on they're going to do their own wrestling game, is what the word is. Do you think they're going to go to AEW and have them do it?
No,
you don't think so?
AEW wants a No Mercy style game.
Ooh.
They want. So what's the company name? Sophia Sin or whatever.
Okay.
Who is what Aki or AKI? I don't know how you say it. I always say Aki. I always said Aki Man. They want them to make the game. Sin Sophia. That's the name of it. Okay,
but they are going to have their own game.
Oh yeah, I mean they're all pretty big. I mean Cody has like Legend of Zelda tattoos, and Kenny Omega has like a full game room in his house. So
yeah, they're all in the games, so they probably want to be in a video game. That would be that'd be interesting to see that, because that would just be more competition for. I mean, if 2K and Take-Two get pushed around by AEW and like a smaller company making the game, that'd be pretty bad.
Yeah,
but that would be really bad, actually.
Competition is good for that kind of stuff.
It is.
Though. I mean,
it is.
Like, there were clear winners and clear losers back in the heyday of wrestling games in the N64 and PS1 era, and it made companies have to try different things and try to see what would work for them and what wouldn't work for them.
Man, what's sad is back when they were doing an interview. I thought it might have been an interview with one of the producers. They talked about bringing back Here Comes the Pain from the PS2 and remaking it, and people got so excited about that online, and it just shows how bad the games are now compared to like the early 2000s, the like when we had Day of Reckoning and the SmackDown series, and then I think Xbox had Raw. Those weren't as good, and then they had WrestleMania. Was it 20 or 21?
Yeah, they did WrestleMania. Well, they did the Raw 21. PlayStation had the SmackDown series, and the GameCube had the Day of Reckoning.
I like Day of Reckoning 1. That one was fun.
Day of Reckoning 2 was actually really good too.
I didn't play the second one. I just played the first one. I want to play the second one.
They did WrestleMania 19, which was okay.
That
on
one
the
was funny
GameCube.
because he threw construction workers and killed them.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
He threw them off like literal skylights and stuff. Just chucked them off. It was fun though back then. I ordered Day of Reckoning 2 from GameStop and they sent me the first one.
That sounds about right.
I have 2 copies of the first one and no copies of the second one. Yeah, so I was gonna play it. It doesn't support progressive scan though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. So that's out next week. I might get 2K20 just to see how bad it is because
I think I'm gonna. I think I have to at this point.
I might do
crazy.
it. I might do
Y'all
it, man.
crazy.
It looks that bad. I'm like, I need to try it myself. But that's about it though for this week. Nate, what do you think about 2K20? Any thoughts there?
It looks bad. It looks really bad. It actually looks worse than WWE 2K from like 6, even 7 years ago. Like the 360 versions visually look better.
That's not good either. That's a little concerning.
I don't know if WWE put pressure on 2K to get these games out yearly and they just aren't giving them money. If 2K is just like, well, we're not going to give any budget to these games anymore. Or at the time, like Ukes actually cared 7 years ago. And then as time went on, they stopped caring. And now 2020 is just a abomination of rush development and visual concepts, and they're saying we don't care about this project either, we just have to put it out.
That's the other thing. Do these need to be yearly series like that? Like, do we need a wrestling game every single year from the same company?
No, they could easily make a competent wrestling engine and have it so that you can update the roster and make it a 2-year game, and then every 2 years you would do it. But the problem is there's so much money in that with so many fucking little kids like, Mommy, I need to do SmackDown versus Raw game.
Well, you know what they should do then? They should what they should do is they should have multiple companies, much like Activision does, making multiple Call of Duties, and you have different Call of Duty styles and ideas and everything. You have a couple different wrestling games that happen every year. You know what I mean? Like you have 2 different companies and they switch off every year. That would probably be better.
Yeah, but then you would have 2 different. You would have 2 different styles.
Yeah, Wrestling of Duty.
Because look at what we were just talking about, the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era. All 3 of those games had very distinct styles. You had the PlayStation games were arcadey, the GameCube ones were more realistic, and then the Xbox ones were sort of in the middle. But the Xbox One tried to prioritize, or the Xbox Ones, I should say, try to prioritize graphics. Whereas, they were very, very different games.
I would just name them different then. Like, like Black Ops, and then we got, Modern Warfare and stuff, like name them different, do that. That'd be, or just take it and make different ones for each system. Specifically, like you make one for the Switch and you make one for the PS4 and the Xbox or something. But that's, I guess that's it for the show. Evan's back.
Yep.
He's back. I recorded this section, Evan, so I'll put them together. Don't worry. But that's going to do it here for the SpawnCast. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It was pre-recorded. Like I said, we'll be back next weekend, Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Let me go around here. Sean, where can they find you?
Find me on RGT85. My Witcher video will be up by now, so make sure you guys go watch that. Some other stuff on the channel, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. What about Max? Where can they find you, man?
YouTube.com/Dreamcast guy, and I'm actually spending a lot of this weekend. By the time this video goes up, I'll be at Retropalooza with Jordan Fringe, which is obviously why he's not here this week. So if you want to see us, our plan is to kind of just chill and talk to SpawnCast viewers and just kind of be there. And we're doing panels, but they'll both have ended by the time this goes live. But I really hope I see some people there. I love whenever people walk up and say, "I love you on the SpawnCast." That genuinely makes me super happy. So you guys rock, and thanks so much. Remember to hit that like button.
Cool. And then what about Nate? Where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at DirectFeedGames. Link to my YouTube channel is in my profile there. I have a Witcher 3 Switch versus a PS4 comparison video up. Switch version actually compares pretty admirably to the PS4 base version. I don't know why a lot of outlets kept comparing it to the Pro version. Obviously, that's going to outclass the Switch to a 10-to-1 differential. So if you're curious to see how well the Switch version stacks up, you can find that video. There'll be some other videos. There'll be some handheld footage of The Witcher 3 up by the time this airs. maybe a Hat in Time comparison up as well. So there'll be some good video content up this weekend.
When's that Nate the Hate going up? when's that channel happening?
December 1st.
Oh man.
Remember, I gave you a catchphrase. The opinions you don't want to hear, but you gotta. Like, totally or steal it.
You gotta look into that going into next year, Nate. Have that going on leading up to the PS5, the Xbox Scarlet, and the potential Switch Pro.
Well, that's true. See, I'll have a lot to hate next year with the PS5 and Scarlet.
I can get you that banner font, the one that I made for the shirt, so you can at least have that. It'd be nice.
Dude, I'll appear if you ever need someone to, like, you know, sort of be the other side of the conversation. I'll suck Sony's dick. It's no big deal, bro.
There you go. And then what about Evan? Where can they find you?
You can find me either fighting Comcast or at Baltimore. There you go. But normally just at Twitter, Kimmerix Project. It's where usually all my stuff is. And just real quick, because now that I'm back, the Discord question, which we all had a little laugh at earlier. Anyone get Postal 4? No?
No.
I did not. When did that come out?
I didn't know it
October
existed.
14th.
I did not get Postal 4. No.
I'm hearing good things.
Okay.
I probably won't pick it up.
All right. Maybe I'll check out a video for it to see what exactly this release has. But yeah, I guess that's it. You're going to be at Comic-Con, Evan, so make sure everyone checks him out at Comic-Con. Is it a Saturday and Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, so by the time people see this, you'll at least still be there on Sunday. So okay, cool. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see you then.